I'm sorry I can't be there in person tonight, but hopefully this is the next best thing for all of you. Julie and Debbie have asked everybody on the panel tonight to talk about some aspects of collaborative practice, and we know that. We did that video last week, but then something happened on Friday which made me reflect over the weekend and really clarified for me what I wanted to say to you all tonight about collaborative practice. So we're doing a new version of the video for you now, just so you know. Julie's listed some things she wanted us to outline: how we talk to clients about collaborative practice, how we work with other professionals about it, and then what our models and pricing and structures look like. Models, pricing, structure, that's all pretty straightforward. It's everything that you learn in the course. We do it exactly the same way. We have agendas, we have meetings, no big secret there. And our pricing too, we're very transparent about our fees, we're upfront, we only do fixed pricing, we break it down into equal stages. All our pricing is on our website. Give me a call if you want to know what it is, otherwise go and look on the website and see what it is. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that, but what I do want to talk about is how we talk to clients and how we work with other professionals. And the first thing that I want to say about this is, how do we talk to clients? The short answer is we don't talk to clients about collaborative practice. I don't identify collaborative options for clients. I don't say that this is a model that you might like to consider. I don't talk to them even about what the principles of collaborative practice are. I'm a collaborative lawyer. Brightside is a collaborative practice. If people come to us, everything we do is going to be from a collaborative foundation. And if you're looking for a way to kickstart a collaborative practice, or wondering how you get it going, having done some training or wherever you are at the moment, that would be my underlying advice to all of you. Forget about formal models, forget about contracts, forget about everything else at the moment. Focus on your mindset, how you approach every single client that walks through your door, and how you are going to help that client down a collaborative path going forward. Become a collaborative lawyer and practice it every single day. So that's how we talk to clients about collaborative. For my role is to set them up on that collaborative path from the very beginning. So an initial consult will look like what they need, how they want to get there, how we're going to collaborate with their ex in the first instance. Is that possible? What level of agreement can they come to with their ex-partner first? Is that our first point of collaboration? If not, how are we going to bring other professionals into the process? Who else do we need along the way? Do they need a lawyer? Do they have a lawyer? If they need a lawyer, we've got a collaborative lawyer they can use, and we have a fixed price for that as well. If they need a mediator, we have a mediator they can use, and we have a fixed price for that package. It's about making the process really easy for them without identifying as a particular model. I'm not selling collaborative to them. They're coming to me because they want to work in a collaborative model, even if they don't actually know it when they first walk in. But by the end of that first meeting, they will. If you make that mental shift, the work will come. Don't lie awake at night thinking about, how am I going to get more collaborative matters? Why don't I have more collaborative work? Why haven't I gotten work after doing the training? Think about how you can be a collaborative lawyer in everything that you do. If you keep offering it as an alternative to other things in your practice, it will be easier to go back to the way you've always done it, and you will keep doing things you always do them. If you refocus and think, I am only going to do collaborative work, one day you'll realise you're only doing collaborative work. So how do other professionals work in with that, which is the next stage? How do we then extend it out? I remember when I first did the training, one of the things I thought, but how will we talk the other side into that? This is about twisting that around and going back on it. We are going to drive this process and make sure that these people stay on a collaborative path. How do we work with other professionals? This to me is actually the hardest part of the process. Clients love collaborative. Most clients want to do it collaboratively. Most clients love the way that we go through the process. Not love the fact that they're there, but at least it makes it as calm and as future focused as it possibly can. Lawyers are not so enamored of the idea, and that unfortunately even extends to people who have done training. I do come across a lot of people who are still compartmentalising. Is this a collaborative matter, or am I going to do it with my old school lawyer hat on? So I'll talk in a general fashion of how my ideal new collaborative colleague is on the other side. We do work in quite tight networks of people that we trust and work well with, but I can't always guarantee they'll be on the other side of a matter. But if a new client engages me and their ex has a lawyer and it happens to be you, the first thing I'm going to do is ring you up and I'm going to have a chat with you on the phone. I'm going to try and talk to you about where my client's at, where your client's at. It's a very needs-based conversation. What hurdles do I see we're going to come across? How are we going to work around them together? Always looking for solutions, always looking for a collaborative team. I want you on my team from that first step. I'm not in competition with you, and I'm not trying to cut you off at the knees. I'm not coming at it from a secret strategy. It's a very open conversation. I'm not saying anything off the record, because I'm not saying anything that my client isn't comfortable with me sharing, and I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say in court. This is about being future focused and client focused and making sure that I'm looking for the best possible outcome for my client. The best possible outcome for my client is a way that I can work with their ex and their lawyer to come up with a solution for this whole family. Collaborative, you will have learned, is about creative problem solving, and to me that's one of the most attractive things. We know the law, you're probably a lot better at it than me. There's a good chance that you're smarter than me and you have some better ideas than I do. I want to hear them, and I'm going to tell you what my ideas are. But the very first conversation is about what do we need to do, where do we need to go. It's not a conversation that runs along the lines of, yes, I'll consult my client, I'll get back to you. I'm hoping that you know your client. If you don't, go away and we'll come back and have another conversation. But that's how I work with collaborative professionals, and that's what I expect from the collaborative lawyers that I work with. If you can't have that conversation with me, we're going to end up butting heads and things will go pear-shaped. But as much as possible, think collaboratively. Think that you're not in competition. Family law is about people, and 2 new people have just entered this arena. I'm not aiming to destroy anyone, and that includes the lawyer on the other side. I'm not here to point out how clever I am. This is not about all the great things that I know and all the things that you don't know. This is about 2 clients who need to get out of a relationship in a way that they can both have some self-respect and some dignity and walk away with their heads held up and what they need to start again. So I don't want to engage in a slinging match with you, and I don't want to be bickering over legal things. I actually want to work with you in a way that we can move our clients forward. What I was thinking then is it comes back to that phone call, and this is what happened to me on Friday. I guess the example that I wanted to give of that comes back to, if you're a collaborative lawyer, make phone calls. I spend a lot of the day on my phone to people. Make phone calls and take phone calls. Please be available when I call. What you can achieve in a 10 to 15 minute conversation is so much more powerful than what might take you 3 hours to write a 6 or 8 page letter and bomb it on me on a Friday afternoon. If you're available to make those phone calls, we can come up with solutions that actually are going to be more effective. The examples that I wanted to give here, and this is where I sort of came back to that beginning of thinking about the philosophy and how you approach every day when you go to work, is what real collaboration is about to me. I had a piece from a very litigious law firm at the beginning of the week, very aggro, very scary, not people that I like to interact with at all. It always goes pear-shaped. And they'd made a massive mistake in their documents. Big transposed applicant and respondent, which gave a whole different meaning to their proposed orders. I could have written I could have written to my client and said, look how silly they are, this is going to be hilarious, and I'm going to tell them all the things they've done wrong. Instead, I called. They don't always take my calls, but they did take my call this time, chatted about the weather. How you going? What's going on? Had a bit of a conversation. These aren't people that are my great friends, but they're humans as well. And it was midweek, everybody's busy. I called when I knew they wouldn't be in court. And I said, let's just read through. I just want to read number 2. Blah, blah, blah. And straight off the bat, he said, oh, that's a mistake. And I said, oh, thank goodness for that. We had a laugh about it. Everything could be assumed, we could go back and say, right, we're right. So I could then go to my client, instead of my client being really angry when they read it and uptight and thinking that it was going to be a battle, I could go to my client, we could all have a laugh about it. And that really actually broke the ice in that matter quite a lot, because we're able now to, I feel that we can have conversations. We still don't agree, but at least we're moving forward in a much more humanistic fashion, compared to another matter that was going on at the same time with somebody who had been reasonably collaborative. I think they have some background. Everything was going okay. It was taking a long time, this matter. And I could never, ever get this lawyer on the phone. No matter what happened, they could never take my call. Busy, 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 busy. Most call, never returned calls, nothing. Finally got them on the phone, had quite a good conversation. Didn't make a huge amount of progress, but reasonable conversation. I felt that we were moving forward. I felt that we finally made a breakthrough. Everything's going well. I said, okay, we're going to draft. I'm going to draft up, send it over. Give me a call if you've got any questions or anything happens. Didn't hear. I'd sent the drafting over. They didn't send anything back, so I sent all of the drafting over. Still didn't hear anything back. Next thing I know, Friday night, my client is all over my text message inbox. Her husband has been bombarding her. The lawyer had received my drafting, looked at it all, decided there was a whole lot of stuff wrong with it, and written a 6-page letter to her client saying all the things I'd done wrong. Her client has taken that, gotten really, really stroppy at me, and taken it to his client, to his ex-wife. We are now back to where we were 6 months ago, and we were so close to resolution, all of which could have been avoided in a simple phone call. Now, we've all done that, and I'm sure you've all been in similar situations, but compare how the two situations make you feel about your practice. I was really happy to have that first conversation with a firm that I usually would never want to engage with. Second one, which I thought was all on track, suddenly I went home on Friday night and I was annoyed. I took that to my family. I lay awake at night and I was uptight all weekend, and I had to actually reset. And I thought, this is where we start to hate what we do. We start to become depressed. We know that there's lots of problems in our family law can really, really drag you down. We have to practice in a more positive, forward-thinking fashion. If we can all do that together, then we're not all going to be niggling each other, dragging each other down. Anyway, for me, that's what collaborative is. And I think I'm not here to destroy anyone. I'm here to look for solutions. That's what collaborative lawyers do. And we now, we do write agreements, and we do meetings, and we do the model, because it's taken us a long time to make sure that everybody in our firm thinks the same way, and everything that we approach is like that. And these lawyers take the wind out of our sails every now and then, and they'll keep doing that. But if you want to be a collaborative lawyer, you have to live it, and you have to take it on the road, and you have to put it to every single client that comes through your door. And that's how you'll build a collaborative practice.